There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Nan Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Fifth Dimension Twilight Zone podcast. I am, of course, your somewhat. I'll just do this. That waving. Nick, and we're here, of course, to talk Rod Serling's famous TV series, The Twilight Zone. We are the Fifth Dimension, and we're going to, Trivial Theater. We have two Trivial Theaters in our midst.
And it's pointing straight at her.
A red cup.
Well, from my view.
Well, and I got merch up now too, so you can buy mugs sort of like that. So I just gotta.
She'll stencil.
That's the vintage.
She'll
version.
stencil stuff for you. I say she'll stencil stuff and burn her hand for you.
Yeah,
Retro.
Absolutely.
That's the retro version.
Oh yeah. Well, you
buy
are a
that
retro Jake XY, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Put it on my shelf.
Right. But of course, we're back. We're back into existence. We're gonna tell all kinds of lies and fake things, and we're gonna do it just for your pleasure, people. Just for your pleasure, because they call me old pleasure memp, that type of thing. So
You're a pleasure nymph.
A pleasure memp.
A memp.
Yeah, I'm a nymph.
They call me old
man.
potato computer triv.
They just call me here because I'm always here in the Twilight Zone. Anyways, so this episode is gonna be interesting one to talk about. And without further ado, we're on the audio feeds like Anchor, SoundCloud, Audio Boom, lies, all kinds of lies. I don't know. We're here to talk Twilight Zone. Rate, subscribe. Anyways, just before we begin, just to let you know, we're gonna take a hiatus for hopefully just a couple weeks, not 2 months like we did the last time. I'm moving again, so it's gonna be
on the road again.
A little bit chaotic.
On
the road again.
On the road again.
I'm gonna be taken by a bunch of sex partied aliens who do mime hands, who do jazz hands. They do interpretive dance. They do.
Are they essentially like really, really constrained hippies with the turtlenecks and all that stuff?
Sure. Yeah. All I know is they feel like they're like a sausage party wanting to have a sex party. The way they pour frisbee. Yeah.
And
that's why I said they do interpretive
uptight.
dance. They're like doing this to frisbee, like interpretive dance.
Well, even their faces are uptight.
I told Nick he keeps moving. He's moving north again, so he's gonna keep on moving north, and in a few years he's gonna live in the Black Hills of Kentucky.
Oh God.
At least rent will be cheaper.
No, there won't be any. They will pay you to be there.
I offered Jacob to live on his farm. I'll be one of his ghosts. So go, It's like I'll just walk into his house right up to when he's sleeping. I'll go,
Are you willing to eat cans? Because
sure, if I get free rent, sure, why not?
I'm not saying that. I just goats don't they damn near eat anything?
Yes, because I also give them a bunch of. But I feed my chickens chicken eggs, so.
Damn.
Eggshells.
Cannibal.
No, you can't.
You
can give your chickens crushed up eggshells.
Oh yeah, because it's like banana skins. There's like good stuff in there.
Yeah. I feed all my animals scraps and stuff.
Well, that's okay.
So how you guys doing? How's life in the Twilight Zone or the Fifth Dimension or Pineappleville, whatever the hell you want to call it?
I don't know. I'm going to Wally.
Oh shit. All I know is they call me old inflating memp. They call Triv rear engine memp or rear engine Triv.
I'm Stony memp or Stonewall Triv.
And they call Jacob old rocket thrust Jacob.
Yeah, they do.
For sure.
And they call us old mile minute Fifth Dimension.
That doesn't.
I don't know. Somebody told us that we need to hurry up, so let's hurry up. Let's talk about I don't know why this episode's called Hocus Pocus and Frisby, or why Jacob wants to sing Wally 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 World. Tell me, guys. I don't know. I just work here. Anyway, so yeah, we're back. We're here to talk a Twilight Zone episode, I think. I mean, we could talk about something else if you want. We don't have to talk about this episode.
I think we should probably talk about this episode.
Yeah.
We could crack our heads open and have like weird masks.
That would also be good. You know, their faces kind of look like uncircumcised dicks.
They look like plaster faces. Like they just forgot to like, put paint on it or makeup or something. Plaster dicks. Yeah, we'll say
Possibly.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay, I guess I just got to ask, whatever uncircumcised dick you came across that looked like that, I'm really sorry. Looks like they started circumcision.
I mean, living in the cornfield, I could see a dick like that, because they hit the corn and everything. Causes holes.
Hold him really still.
On a more serious note, the true meaning of Hocus Pocus is nonsense or sham, especially to cloak deception. So that's where the Hocus Pocus comes from here.
I just figured it was a movie with Bette Midler and Catherine Najimy and Sarah Jessica Parker.
I mean, it might be.
It had a terrible sequel.
Yeah. It wasn't. I enjoyed the Roombas. That was fun.
It had Doug Jones.
My wife watched it. She hated it. She loves the original. I didn't watch. I'm not a fan of the original.
Is it like as bad as Coming to America? Coming to America.
Oh, that was so bad.
I never saw that.
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't great.
It was, comparably speaking, especially. It wasn't even so bad. It was just so forgettable. Like I forgot that movie was made. I saw an article. I saw something.
I think everybody did.
I saw something about it. And this was actually after I saw it and had reviewed it. I'm pretty sure I reviewed it, but it was a while after, and I saw something about Coming to America, and my initial thought was, "Oh, are they finally making that? I've already fucking seen it." It's
shit.
forgettable.
Wow.
And I was just like, "Oh fuck, they already made that. That came out. I've seen that. I reviewed."
That's like the Borat sequel. I forget about these things. I forget about because they're just so dime a dozen. Like Amazon Prime and Netflix, they just put all kinds of shit on there. You just watch something and you forget about it, and every once in a while, like
trash.
Yeah, well, every once in a while you get like follow the House of the Usher, where you actually remember. Most of it's just like whatever. Like going back, kind of twisting and turning it back into this episode. This episode is one that I'm gonna be like, it's fine, but I'm gonna forget about it because this is that type of episode. But
it's kind of fun. I mean,
yeah, it's fine. It's
seasons.
Yeah. But it's season 3, episode 30, which is called Hocus Pocus and Frisby, directed by, once again, Lamont Johnson, story by Frederick Louise Fox, written by Rod Serling, production code 4833, original air date April 13th, 1962, stars Andy Devine, Milton Selzer, Larry Breitman. Why can't people have normal names? Peter Brocco, Howard.
Oh yeah, because people have really normal names today.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. Hocus Pocus and Frisby is one of the more comedic episodes of the Twilight Zone. It's a much more relief than what we've been getting, where it actually feels like they're attempting, for better or worse, they're attempting to be lighthearted. And I think this is where I kind of run on this episode. I think the joke of Frisby and his tall tales becomes a little too worn out halfway through the episode. And it's fun at first, but it feels like the idea and story just kind of run out of steam quickly until you get to the alien part, and it is kind of fun there. But I don't know. I mean, going into this episode, yeah, but it just Triv, I know you enjoy this episode, but would you agree on that it kind of takes a little while? It kind of loses steam a little bit, and then it kind of picks up near the end.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's not a perfect episode by any stretch, but I enjoy it for what it does, and like some of the wordplay and such. Like at one point early on, because he's in a convenient or a general store, and the one guy says horseradish. He says, "Where's the horseradish?" Like there's fun things like that.
Well, I gotta ask you this question. So Rod Serling, when he comes in to do his monologue, he's in a set like straight out of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like he's like 2 feet tall. Triv's like giving me no, but he's in like a 2 foot, like he's like 2 feet tall against the general store, but the general store is the normal size. Do you know why that is? Is there a reason for that? Was he from the last episode?
I have no idea.
It's just weird to me how
Because
like when
I
he
think it's
enters.
shot from a higher angle too.
Well, but like everything looks like it's like 85 feet tall. It feels like
I know you guys
they.
talked about that last week. I have no idea.
Oh,
I
maybe it's
wasn't
just
aware.
me.
Was that last week at the end of last week's episode? I remember you saying something about that too.
Yeah. When he does a nail on the next episode of the Twilight Zone, it looks like Rod Serling's in like a giant set. Like I thought they were gonna maybe use a giant set
Maybe it's
for
like
this
a forced
episode. This,
perspective accidentally.
yeah, because this episode's nothing. I thought this episode was gonna be about a guy who gets abducted by aliens and he tells them tall tales, but it ends up being nothing like that at all. It's just about a guy who likes to lie. It's a guy who cries wolf, whatever.
Well, it's a guy
And
who's taken at his word by like the literal equivalent of the aliens from Galaxy Quest.
well, that's true. And
We
I
do
guess
not
there's
know what you mean. What is a lie?
Galaxy Quest is like Walk Hard. It's like one of the greatest spoof movies ever made.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
actually
Quest
better
is
than
awesome.
most.
But it is. I thought of that
Well,
too. That part. It is pretty much. I'm like, is that where Galaxy Quest got it from? Because it was pretty much the same kind of like little. They don't understand what lying means.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, you
No,
think about it, like lying, it isn't necessarily a strictly human thing, but if like I like the fact that they took it in that direction, and took because most of the aliens that we've run across in the Twilight Zone have been like the deceptive, like kind of evil-esque ones. And this definitely was a different, more innocent take on that.
Did they ever say what they wanted?
They wanted him
They
to
wanted-
be like they wanted him to like be their Einstein kind of.
Yeah, but like, was there a specific thing? Like, oh, our planet isn't, our civilization's in
No,
trouble?
they
It's like,
they
oh,
were
he's-
just
we heard about him.
collectors. They're just collectors of exceptional people from exceptional places.
Jacob, I'll make this super
He's
easy
like the
for
collector. He's like the collector from Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy.
you. Jacob, I'll help you out with this. So there was a movie that came out in the 80s about a young boy who gets abducted by an alien, and this alien is collecting
Flight of the Navigator?
species that one of them has like a sick like disease, the other one like eats hats, the other one sounds like Pee Wee Herman but is not really Pee Wee Herman.
Reckoning?
Just think about that. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. No, it is. Yeah, Flight of the Navigator. I do have a question for you guys on this episode on these aliens. This alien race can travel through space, travel dimensions. I'm sure they can do all kinds of shit. Apparently, they build a ship that was in another movie or whatever, but they can't figure out what this guy is. They can't
If
figure
you
out
had
he's a
never been
liar.
exposed, okay, if you went to I don't know,
But
Taiwan and
but
had
I'm
never
pretty sure
been
they
exposed,
can read.
Well, yeah, but
Can't
but if you had not been exposed to that before, if the only thing that you had was the legend of this guy, you have to take that's kind of what they're going for here. It's like why did in War of the Worlds, why did like those aliens, like high tech, super smart aliens, come to Earth and get taken out by viruses and bacteria?
Because I don't know.
Same premise.
Reasons and logic. No, it's just funny. Like they read his mind or something like that, and they know he's like they can't tell he's lying. I don't know. It's such a
they don't understand the concept of it. It's like if you look at one of those weird pictures where like you can make out like bits of it, but you look at the bigger picture and it doesn't make any damn sense because that's how the picture is set up. That's this.
I guess that's why they
It's
look
a-
like Iowan uncircumcised dicks.
Yes.
It's I think it's supposed to be that's it's a fact in their life. It's a rock. It doesn't that is lying just doesn't exist. So the idea of someone lying just is such a foreign concept that they can't even fathom it. So that's why they don't even, somebody says something and like, oh, it must be true. That's how their
Right.
people are. I mean,
it's
one of those things like
It's like pineapple on pizza.
yeah, it's disgusting.
it's something that is so
Disgusting logic.
ingrained in you that you believe it, even though
Well,
would-
that's
like
the question.
China.
Like,
China, I'm pretty sure it's there. I mean, I've heard my whole life it's there. I believe it's there, but quite honestly, I've never been there, so I don't know if it's there. It might not be. It might just be a big lie. But it's like that. But I just I've never seen it. I've never, but I know it's a fact. It's a fact in my life that I've never substantiated myself, and so that's kind of how they are with lies.
Well, the real question you have to ask yourself is, of all the places they land, why in the middle of a podunk town with like probably 150,000 or 150,000, like maybe 1,000 people, would they land there instead of like, I don't know, Washington D.C. or New York City, or
Because this
like
guy is such a
They heard
prolific
tale.
liar that his tales have spread far and wide.
what?
They
So you're
heard
saying in
tale of
space they
Frisbee.
heard us? Yeah, he just threw a frisbee at him and knocked him, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds good," Did they have like a monitoring device that like,
Nick,
oh,
repeat
this?
to yourself, it's just a show. You should really just relax.
Yeah.
I refuse to relax, Triv. I refuse. Because they call me. They call me Stonewall Memp. Old Archimedes Memp. I got to know these things. I don't know. I mean, I
Here's
bitch
the
about
thing.
like the logic.
I understand. I understand where the concern comes from. It makes sense, but you're also talking about a show from the '60s where they
It's
have
not an excuse, Triv.
like Jacob said, 24 minutes. They have 24 minutes to tell the story, and exactly.
Triv,
Yes.
24 minutes. Not an excuse. I could tell a better story in 24 minutes. I'll call it
Okay.
Memp
Go
and
ahead.
Frisbee.
Let's do it.
So
story.
we open on New York City, where we have Kai dealing cards, and he's faking
Yep.
dealing
Time's
the
up.
cards.
Sorry.
Nah, in all honesty, I get it. It's one of those episodes that is more lighthearted. It's more. I don't think it really has a meaning for anything. It's just maybe making the mistake of not of who you decide to take up to your sex party in your alien spaceship or whatever. But he'll be the one that goes from suck to blow, that type of thing. But
I mean, and I know I'm jumping a bit ahead, but like the guys at the beginning, the guys that hang out at his store and stuff, they give him a lot of shit and they razz him nonstop. But at the end, they know who he is. They know that he lies, but they love him nevertheless because it's entertaining.
yeah, I mean, it's a annoying liar of a guy who has, as you said, the most annoying voice ever. But there's something charming about his lies. I just wish there wasn't as many. It like goes on and on and on. I'm like, just like, where's the alien sex party at? Come on, I want to get this shit over with. It's just
his voice and the way he talks. I was like, I have heard this voice before. He sounds like Slim Pickens.
Isn't he the guy from he was in something else? Like he wasn't
Slim
like
Pickens has more of like
he wasn't like Buford T. Justice,
animated.
but he was someone like Buford T. Justice.
What's he been in? Maybe I'm thinking no, it's not.
He's been in a lot of shit. Like if you look back, like hundreds of credits. He was in the Virginian, at least an episode.
He's got that very down home voice.
He played
Santa
in the Batman Batman 60 series.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like he was playing a character. I want to say like a cowboy or something.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of that.
But I mean, like a goofy kind of
Stagecoach, Robin Hood. Oh, he was.
I think he sounds
like Friar. He was Friar Tuck in
Can
Robin
we talk
Hood.
about Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, let's talk about the farting scene.
Will we get canceled?
I mean, as long as we talk about the Dom DeLuise gay chorus men scene.
Well, I'll tell you this: he was in the Disney Robin Hood, the animated one. He was Friar Tuck, which
he was in the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. He was in Around the World in 80 Days. He was in
I don't know
Red Badge of Courage. He
Over the Hill Gang.
Gay Ranchero.
The farting scene in Blazing Saddles, so
he wasn't that guy, but the similar sound, no doubt.
Hey, if you want to know, he was in the Fabulous Texan, and then the year after the Gay Ranchero.
Is that like Zorro the Gay Blade?
Probably.
No.
Like a Western version.
All these titles, dude. He was in a lot of fucking Western. Like he was in a lot of shit.
But he had that kind of voice too.
And that's all they made back then. They made the Twilight Zone and Westerns. That's it. Nothing else.
And Batman 66.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ed. Are we sure that he didn't lie about the filmography? Like he wasn't actually in all this?
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, the episode opens up with him just basically lying about what he does. They call him old inflating Frisbee.
He calls himself old whatever Frisbee.
He says he's Rhett Norton. He says a lot of like old timey Southern stuff, like meteorology.
Dude, it wasn't
and
so old timey back then. I mean, we're talking 60 years ago.
he says he's in front. He demonstrated in front of computer machines. He knows that cloud formations, and yeah, he just basically lies a lot. That's his kind of mo. His modus operandi. He lies.
They call me
lies.
old modus operendi Triv.
Yeah, they call it Triv. Old rear engine job Triv. And
Call me
Really?
old,
yeah,
full of shit.
I mean, what do you guys think about this opening before we get to the two guys who don't know about rear engines?
I think they did a good job with it. I think that it's a good introduction, and it goes to show that people don't put up with this bullshit.
Well, I think they do though. They listen to it and they just keep
They
talking.
listen
They keep
to it, but
listening.
that's what
They
they
call
did
him
in
on
those
it.
old. That's what they did in those old general stores. Like, I mean, it's like the guys that go for coffee. They sit there and give each other shit and like throw it back at each other and whatnot. They're about stories. That's what those. That's the old. They sit around those old stoves and like eat cookies and crackers.
They sit around the Cracker Barrel.
They sit around the Cracker Barrel and they tell stories and call each other out on their bullshit.
Big fish stories. We've
Hell
all
yeah.
known one, man. We've all known one guy.
That's a great way
or
to
girl
put it. Yeah.
That's just like full of shit. Everything they say. When I was younger, we knew a guy. We had a friend, and he was this guy. He was so full of shit. Everything he said, so much. His name was Wes. And we got to the point where when we were talking about somebody lying, we'd be like, "You're Wessing me, man."
That's awesome.
We've all
in
bullshitter.
in all honesty, though, I hate to say it, but I would love to like just have my day just in a store like this, having a guy tell me bullshit. Just sit around and drinking coffee or eating. Was he eating popcorn seeds or something like that? I don't know what he was eating out of that jar. Like it looked like popcorn seeds. Like he would just grab a seed and put it in his mouth and chew on it. I don't know, is that what they did in the 60s? Eat popcorn
Sunflower
seeds?
Yeah.
I think it was popcorn seeds.
Is that what it was?
It
was some kind of
pulled that
seed.
seed out of my ass. I don't know.
Like your rear engine.
Pulled it out the rear engine. I thought this opening was pretty good. It was fine. It established what we needed to know. This guy was full of shit. I was cool with it. It's fine before Hot Rod came on. I will say that, and it doesn't pertain to this part, but like after this, I think it drug on a little bit too long before it got to the meat and potatoes, as they say. But yeah, this as far as like before the opening narration, that was cool. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean this is one of those like middle of the road episodes that you enjoy, but you're never like it's not like your staple of episodes that you watch over and over and over. It's just
It's a nice palate
when you
cleanser.
see when you see a guy get sucked into the air going wee.
That was great.
Yeah, like it
And
was
when
like
he came
the
back
weirdest.
down too, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Did they do that with wires? Or was
Yeah,
that superimposed?
he had a harness on.
Yeah, because I thought I saw it when he landed.
How many wires
Like,
did he have on him? Like you can imagine trying to lift a guy like that. It's like
well, they sped it up every time. Whenever they speed something up like that, it's just like that's if they had just lifted him normal speed, I think it would have been cool. But I don't know, speeding things.
I don't
up
know. It
all
would have been like a
hills.
6-hour episode though, because if they had to speed it up like that, it must take a while to wench him up. Because it's not like today where all you have to do is press a button and it just like lifts you up and stuff like that. They were probably like guys on
No,
pulleys
man.
and shit. pulling up.
But a lot of that stuff, even nowadays, I mean, to a degree, I don't know about some movies, but a lot of the times it's just people. It's like pulleys and shit. And they'll have like limiters on them, and sometimes there's some machinery into it, but it's still, they just put people on pulleys and lift them up. I mean,
No, I thought they were using like cranes and machines that use it now compared to like back in back in
I'm
the
sure
day
when
they
they
had to
do
be a little
something
more
like
resourceful.
super dangerous, they do to like make sure it stops at a certain spot when they have a close call. But when people are like jumping up in the air and doing like that kind of wire work like that, there's people over here just, and it's not hard. You throw a pulley on something. I've done it to myself before when I was in college and I worked construction, and they had a pulley system in between these two mezzanines, and my dumbass put it on my harness because I was like, watch, I'm in the Matrix. And I grabbed the other end of the rope and I'd jump across and I'd pull myself. It's pretty cool, but I was fucking stupid because if I'd let go, I would have died.
Oof, yeah.
The real question is how'd you have kids when you're pulling yourself up like that? I'm sure you're like your testicles are just like fucking dying.
Oh,
and
you
shit.
gotta like get them right between the two thigh straps right there. You just gotta get it just right. Make sure they're hanging down all nice and.
You need an egg warmer.
Yeah, you want to know why, Nick?
Well,
3 eggs. Because fuck you.
But yeah, I mean, at first I'm like, is this guy Frisby? Is he just in the store telling lies, and the old man's the one running the store? No, this is Frisby's store. The people just come in to like. I like how like they just pick stuff up and he'll eat it, and then sometimes he'll charge him for it, sometimes he won't. And the thing that's funny is like it feels like the town is maybe so small that these are the only people that buy stuff from the store. So you got to wonder how long that stuff's been in that store. And I don't know. It's interesting, these old small towns.
I mean, the dude bought celery, so they'd have to keep stuff at least sort of fresh.
Well, yeah, it's a general store, like one gas station pump. It's probably where all the townsfolk go in there and discuss, what tall tale Frisbee's gonna say at this point. But I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, it's no uncircumcised penis monsters, but it's fine. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do the opening narration because it's fine. Long. It has a camshaft in it.
Well, speaking of shafts, the reluctant gentleman with the sizable mouth is Mr. Frisby. He has all the drive of a broken camshaft and the aggressive vinegar of a corpse. As you've no doubt gathered, his big stock in trade is the tall tale. Now, what he doesn't know is that the visitors out front are a very special breed, destined to change his life beyond anything even his fertile imagination could manufacture. The place is Pitchful Flats. The time is the present. But Mr. Frisbee's on the first leg of a rather fanciful journey into the place we call the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, camshaft, vinegar of a corpse. Man, what a way to explain Frisbee.
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about half the time. He has the drive of a broken camshaft. I guess that means he doesn't have much drive.
I just feel bad for the
corpse.
I actually thought this was written by the guy who does your favorite, the Waltons, but apparently it's not, because it has like the same music and stuff like that. Or
yeah, I can tell by the tone. This isn't Hamner Jr. Even the tone, he has a very specific tone to his writings, even when they're not good.
We shall see.
Even when you say
fourth
even
season.
when you say
Oh, your favorite episode?
Oof. I don't remember much about it, honestly, but
you're gonna watch it and love it.
I doubt it.
It was totally wrong. Hey, I've done that with movies.
Jezebel.
Oh, how do you
I've gone back to
hate
movies
an
before
episode that you don't
ended
remember?
up really liking them.
True.
Yeah, he's gonna go back and love the Perchance to Dream.
Nope,
when we go back and watch it,
that's not. Nope, not gonna happen.
Jay was like, "Fuck you,"
happened.
because 3 eggs.
House of the Dead, love it now.
Oh God, I bet you're excited for the 4K version of Blood Rain.
Well, that was a good one.
Blood Rain was surprisingly one
I need
of
to find
his
some
better
Doom
ones.
co-host.
It's not good. Not good.
Well, I'm
Anyway.
thinking the Devil's Rain, not Blood Rain. Sorry.
Blood Rain
Oh,
was
thank
one
God.
of his better movies, but it's not a good movie.
Fair.
I mean, I guess Postal. We could watch Postal. Let's watch Postal instead of this. Talk about
Postal's
this episode.
awesome. I love Postal.
Shit. Anyways, the guy goes out because two people in a car, two members of the sex cult, the alien sex cult, come out, and they want gas in their rear engine. They're like, oh, we don't know where our rear engine is, but we want gas in there. He's like, oh, I'm old rear engine Frisbee, and I helped design the rear engine gas tank, and I did this, and they call me rear engine Frisbee, and I worked for the government. Do you remember Dwight E. Eisenhower? I worked for him too. And I don't know. It's cute. It's funny. The only thing I can say about Andy Devine is he's likable, but he's just really annoying. He's like really annoying. He's like that guy, as Jacob was talking about, where he spurts off a lot of nonsense, and it's just like I guess I get why they believe him, but it's just like I don't know. I
don't think they believe him. Well, the aliens,
the
aliens, yes, but
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah,
I was gonna say his cohorts there at the store. No,
they gave him a
don't.
trophy for being the world's biggest liar.
Right, exactly.
Here on Earth, we are used to deception. We know all about it.
That we do.
So I'm guessing that this episode is a take on how people lie to each other. Is that what we're getting at?
Well, like you said before, I don't think there's any moral to this. I think it's just an entertaining, cute story.
I don't think it's very deep. I think it's just kind of like, hey, wouldn't it be neat if we had this guy who lied about everything, and these aliens didn't know what lies were, so they believed everything he said, and he got himself in hot water that way. I think that's about as deep as it went.
He got himself rear-ended by his rear engine. I don't know.
That's not a rear engine car, by the way. Just throwing that out there, but go ahead.
Well, not everything
for
can be truthful,
the
Jacob. This is an episode about lies. Lies. You think this is a center for ants? Gosh, Jacob. I don't know where I'm going. But no, like he fills up the tank and they give him a $10 bill and they're like, "Oh, you wanted a dollar? Oh, here's a $10 bill." And Frisbee's like, "Oh no, it was like $1.50 for gas." Like, "Oh, okay, here's a $10 bill." And he just hands back the change. And he's like so weirded out by this and so excited. They gave him a $10 bill. It's like, "Oh, so you've never seen a $10 bill before?" I'm like, "Really? Really, guys? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really, Triv?"
Yes.
No, but he goes into the store and tells them, "Oh, they gave him a $10 bill." And it's like that's when they finally leave. They're like, "Oh, we've had enough for the day. We're gonna steal our popcorn."
Well, when in doubt, you go down the road because then there are clouds. They're looking pretty bad.
Yeah, it's gonna rain. They're like, "Oh, we'll see you soon for our sex party." I don't know. Jacob's distracted by looking up sex parties or something.
No, I don't know where we're getting the sex party thing, but hey, it's I'm always down for a sex party.
No, it's just like when we get to the spaceship, like inside the spaceship, it's just like there's like they have the guy, the king on the he's doing this, and then they have the two guys doing this, and then they have guys around him. It feels like one
There's
of
the
those
one
like
guy who's leaning like
yeah.
He's looking sexy.
And he's like he's just like okay, sure. I don't know. You know how I am. I come up with weird things for an episode, but
Yes, you do.
yes, I do. I mean, I don't know. It leads to basically Frisbee getting talked to by aliens, talked to by some voice over work. "Mr. Frisbee, why don't you come 200 yards down the road, Mr. Frisbee?" I was waiting for like Mrs. Frisbee from Secret Nim to show up at some point. Like I was just waiting for him to be married to a mouse or a rat or whatever.
I don't
I
know
was
if people would
wrong.
believe him.
I was wrong, by the way. It is actually a rear engine car.
Oh.
Well, we
I
can't
thought it
always
was
be right, Jacob.
I thought it was an MG, but it's not. It's a Renault Caravelle, which
Oof.
was an actual rear engine car. Oops.
Uh,
So before
Does
anybody
it say what kind of
comes
car it
down with a
is?
comment. I looked it up.
Were you just? Oh,
No,
like you're probably able to
because
find
I was
out.
looking. I was thinking about it, and I was like, was it? And I looked up the MG that I thought it was. I was like, I don't think that was it. And then I was looking at it, and I saw what I thought was the Renault Insignia. So I dug a little deeper and found, yeah, this is the car. It is rear engine.
Well, there you go.
Interesting.
You learned something new.
I knew that was a rear. I knew they
Interesting.
made rear engine cars, but I did not think that's what the car was. But oh well. Moving on.
Where
Yes.
rear engine cars been known to be like very dangerous cars? Am I missing that?
No, rear
I
engine
mean-
cars are actually better than front wheel drive as far as balance and weight distribution and stuff like that.
Man, that's what all Volkswagens were when they first came out, right?
Yeah, wasn't Herbie that? Herbie was a
like
rear engine.
the Beetles. Beetles
Yeah.
were all rear engine. Those things are such pieces of shit.
Hey, don't make fun of Herbie like that. He might
And
come
all the
back.
quirky people like to drive them.
People love them, but you don't ever see somebody driving one that has not had work done to it.
You remember when, like, in the early 2000s, when the Beetle became popular again?
Those were awful. The new ones, they were terrible. Like they have so many problems. You buy one of those, you are going to a shop. I got a lot.
dude.
I'll try to buy one.
Wasn't
for
that
my-
popular because of like Christina Aguilera or some shit?
It's
Probably.
They
popular
were
because they
driving one
brought
in a
back
music
that
video.
iconic car. Just it's a very unique looking car, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, cool! It comes with a
And-
flower."
all the weird things that people like did to them. There's one at the place that I work at because it's kind of in a
Eyelashes and
complex.
stuff.
No, this one had you wind up like the toys that you wind up. It has one of those on the back.
The
And
key.
when the wind blows, yeah, it turns it.
Oh. Yeah, they're just quirky little cars, but they are literally pieces of shit. Like, because I was going to buy my oldest daughter one for her first car because we are trying to find out what we we're going to buy her, and I was like, oh, that she'd look cool in that. That's cool. That fits her personality. And I started looking into them. I was like, these are pieces of shit. Like they are real
Yeah,
bad.
it was more aesthetic than it was reliable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are not.
I just remember they got when I was
Whatever.
in high school. They were popular, but I don't know. Anyways, so yeah,
originals?
but Frisbee, he's cleaning up his store. He's putting it away again. He's putting all his lies into a box, and people start talking to him. Or at least a guy starts talking to him. He looks around. And he's going to hide. Are you like, are you scared, Mr. Frisby? It's like, no, the rats are coming for me. I need to hide. But you remember, I invented Mr. Archimedes, or I invented clouds.
This is the part that
What
I
was his
thought
name?
drug on too long. Quite honestly,
What?
this part right here, I was like, just leave, just go, because like he walked around that store. It seemed like for a while, and I guess realistically, if you hear like a phantom voice and it's telling you to go do something, you may do something like this. But like we had already established the fact that he tells tall tales. Everything that comes out of his mouth. If his mouth is open, he's lying. And okay, they want him to go there outside. We know he's going to. So everything that happens, there's nothing of value that happens while he's just like creeping around his shop like this. Nothing except for him spouting more bullshit. And by that point, it was kind of like, all right, I get it. He spouts bullshit, and yeah, we know he's gonna go. Can you just get the fuck out of the store and go? But he like walked. He was gonna walk out, then he went back in and all this, and I was like, that whole thing right there. I would have rather see more stuff on the spaceship than see that.
Yeah, something, because like they were like, oh, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and I was first to jump in a craft in World War II, and they call me old crafty Frisbee, and it's just like you keep doing the same joke over and over. It's like,
Yeah,
I get the joke. It just
I
like,
wasn't
come
even
on, we
listening
need
at
to
that
move
point.
forward. Yeah,
Like all the stuff he said
Understandable.
inside the store at that point, I was kind of like, all right, you lost me. You're losing me. Come on, do something else. I know what he's saying is bullshit. There's fucking aliens there. We know that now. Go to them.
Become one with them.
Yeah.
yes, come with them. Come with them. Did you
I mean,
know?
even if he did the whole thing where he's like, oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, and he like walked out on the porch and then they snatched his ass, because it's essentially what happened anyway.
Yeah.
He kind of like walked out and was like, oh, I don't know about that. If they had just cut straight to that, I think that would have worked better.
Did you know Shannon Doherty and Will Wheaton were in The Secret of Nim with John Carradine and Peter Strauss and Dom DeLuise?
They're in what?
And
Secret,
Secret of
Nim.
Nim.
Really? The Secret of Nim?
Yeah.
Cool.
Shannon
And then
Doherty's
Mrs.
in The
Frisby
Secret of
died
Nim?
at 43 years old because of depression.
Who was Shannon Doherty in The Secret of Nim? One of the
Shannon
kids?
Doherty wasn't she like
She was
90210?
one of the kids.
Yeah, she must have
Yeah.
been one of the kids, because Secret of Nim came out.
Shannon Doherty didn't die, did she?
No.
No, I'm talking about the lady who played Mrs. Brisby. She
Miss
had
Brisby.
like
Oh.
severe depression.
Oh, that sucks.
And she probably
She
played
was
one of the
a
like
actress.
one of the little rat kids, one of the kids.
Yeah.
Or I guess Mrs. Brisby was a field mouse. Now I think about it,
Yeah, they
not a
were.
rat.
They were mice. The rats were the mysterious ones in the rose bush that they
Yeah.
went to help them move
Yeah,
her cinder
with
block with her sick
Nicodemus.
kids
It's
in it.
Lee side of the stone.
Yeah. That okay. What is more fucked up? Secret of Nim or Watership Down?
I've not
Watership
seen
Down. But
Watership
Secret
Down.
of Nim scared me more when I was a kid.
Yeah, Nicodemus was creepy as hell.
Nicodemus and the fucking owl.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Don Bluth is the terror of our youth. That's why.
Oh man, the mouse of Minsk scared the shit out of me. I screamed in the theater when I saw that.
Is that the American Tail?
Yeah. That's like the giant
that-
thing that they use to drive all the cats onto the boat to Shanghai.
That's
I
so
saw that in
crazy.
theaters too.
I did too. Hey, we have something in common. We all saw that in theaters and probably scared. That's why we're all fucked up talking about Hocus Pocus and Frisby.
Yay.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get to the good stuff finally. After he's been walking out, trying to clean up his stuff. He's like, I need to clean up my store. Like, no, you're not gonna worry about that ever again. And then, like a cloud and a balloon, he gets lifted in there and goes, wee, and just floats into space and then lands in the desert. And Jacob's like, it was the greatest thing ever.
I'm looking who Shannon Doherty was in The Secret of Nim.
She played Teresa.
Teresa, yeah, but I don't remember who Teresa was. Was she? One
She
of the
was
kids?
the she was
She had to
the
be.
she was one
She's
she
probably
was
the-
like the oldest
more-
girl, I think.
Yeah.
I'm looking for an image. Oh yeah, she is. She's the girl with the big bow in her hair.
Yeah.
It's always like me.
Yeah. She's
Oh,
a
Mrs.
snobby little
Brisby.
bitch.
I wanted Mrs. Brisby to be my mom.
She was cool.
Yeah, but then you have to like, rescue yourself from a lawnmower and
Hey, she did damn
Yeah.
good job. She was a single mom and she did her thing.
Dude, till this day, every time I'm outside mowing my yard, I think, is there a Mrs. Brisby and her family out here that are freaking the fuck out as the lawnmower's coming? Because I
mean,
like,
it could be worse.
started
It
a
could
little
be
early.
I was thinking, Honey,
It could
I
be a
Shrunk the
gr-
Kids.
Yeah, it could be a group of kids.
Yeah.
You chopped up a group of kids and some mice. Damn you, Jacob. Damn.
Could make a nice salad.
Oh, just as long as you don't eat like a bowl of Cheerios and milk.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
Nah.
what are we doing here?
Back to this.
I don't know. You're the one. You're the one that like. I have to look up what young
I
mouse look like.
started that journey. I had to finish it out. I had to finish. I start something, I finish it.
They call him old journey finisher Anders.
Except for that series on my channel I started and never finished. But moving on with
I mean,
this.
to be fair, the sequel to Five Goes West has James Stewart in his last role ever
Cool.
before he died.
Do you know that Frisbee's first name is Somerset?
You know, Mrs. Frisby never had a first name, and it saddened me.
It's Mrs.
Mrs. Frisby. Because
Yes.
her husband,
But her husband's dead, so isn't it Miss?
she didn't know he's dead. He just disappeared.
Yes.
He's killed by the rats.
Well, he never.
Anyways,
no, he wasn't killed by the rats. He was killed by the people. He helped all the rats escape, but he didn't get out.
Oh,
He's presumed dead.
is that why Nicodemus like loves her? Maybe
Yeah.
Nicodemus and Mrs. Frisby should have kids.
Her husband.
Maybe
her-
Maybe
Dude,
they
he
are his
wouldn't
kids.
he wouldn't be able to do the horizontal mumbo. He creaks when he
Hey,
moves.
he has smoke coming out of his eyes, Triv. I mean, come on now. I mean, you don't
That
know.
does not mean sexual prowess. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but you know what? You know what we should talk about? The sex party in Hocus Pocus and Frisbee.
Good bringing it back. Good job.
No, but Frisbee lands in the middle of the desert, and I think I read somewhere that this ship is
It's
something.
from
Forbidden
the
Planet?
man from Uncle.
Okay. Really? The man
No,
from Uncle?
Well, I think no, there's a council in there that's from the man from Uncle.
Okay. I
Oh,
was gonna say,
that'd be
this
a weird
Man from
story
Uncle didn't
plot
have
for a man from Uncle.
spaceships.
Maybe that should be the sequel for the Henry Cavill non whatever his name was who wanted to
Armie
eat
Hammer?
people. Yeah, sequel. Maybe it should be about him selling timeshares or something. I don't know. Anyways,
Hang on, let me look it up quick. Give me a second.
what, you're gonna look up timeshares by
No,
Armie Hammer?
no.
The Secret of Nim 2 is called Timmy to the Rescue. Came out in 1998. See, that's I could tell Don Bluth ain't got nothing to do with that.
You remember when they were doing that kind of shit? They would come out like sequels, so you would
Dude,
have
they
like
still do.
Christmas. No,
Okay,
not like this.
The
not like this.
console scene on the alien spaceship is the same one used in the Man from Uncle's headquarters as Mr. Waverly's overseas relay communications console.
So what you're telling me is the Twilight Zone was basically like the second kid or the third kid, so it's like
Yes.
they get all the hand-me-downs.
Dude, you've seen how they treated this series.
At least a solid third of the props and sets on this show are from Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Forbidden Planet, every episode, it's like something in the show was from Forbidden Planet. But that was a lot of shows and movies and stuff back then. Forbidden Planet,
yeah.
like apparently it had some bomb ass like sets and props because they used them in everything.
Well, you
Right.
look at Batman or Batman 66. They did the movie first and they ponied up for all of these cool like ability to get all these shots. That way they could use them when they went further into the series. So they had the upfront cost,
mean-
but then they had footage of the helicopter and the various
that-
other
I mean,
things.
hell,
That show was supposed to get renewed, and like the fans wanted it back so bad that the studio was like, okay, we'll bring it back. But they had already demolished all the sets. So they were like, well, this is going to cost too much to build all the sets again. So they can't do it. They would have
mean-
actually done it longer.
I mean, hell, when you watch like a TV show or something like that, a lot of times if they have like establishing shots, it's like the same shot over and over. So they have like
oh yeah.
skyline of New York City or skyline of the Golden Girls house. It's just like
Or a model. Back in the 80s,
Yeah,
they used a
model.
lot of models. Like Family Matters
It's
and
only a model.
Cosby Show. And I think Cosby Show was real, but 227 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like always a model.
Did you know a
What?
lot of models for ABC shows, a lot of houses were filmed in Florida, but the actual show was filmed in California. They used to have
Wouldn't be
the house,
surprised.
the Golden Girls house in Orlando. They filmed Sequest DVS in Orlando. I don't know if you remember
makes
that
The
show.
Golden
sense.
Girls house looked like it was a Florida house.
Yeah, it did.
I don't even remember.
Well,
where
yeah,
it
I think that
took
was a
place.
purpose.
it
Like,
take place in
they
Florida?
filmed. Yeah, I think so. I think it did. Because Empty Nest takes place in California?
I remember that show.
Spinoff. So anyway, sex parties. Frisbee falls on the desert
He's
floor.
like sex parties.
Yeah, and
That's our segue.
And there's an ET style ship just staring right at him. He's like, "Oh, I invented spaceships. I invented them for the U.S. military." He's
For
like,
the
"Sir, this is
USA.
not a U.S. military ship. They call me old spaceship Frisbee."
Everything's old, whatever he's talking about, Frisbee.
Yep.
Yeah, except for old rear engine Frisbee. But it leads us to what I think is probably the best part of the episode. You walk in, it's just guys going, and then guys doing jazz hands, and then harmonicas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's an entertaining moment. They talk about how, oh, you're like the guy, you're gonna be like our, Einstein, and he's like, dude, I lie. That's all I do is lie. I am a bona fide American. But they're like, oh, we have marvelously entertaining Venusians. Like, what the fuck is a Venusian?
Someone from Venus.
Yes, we'll go with that.
It really
It
is.
is. It is. It's
That is what they call it.
yeah. It's like a Martian. It's a Venusian.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Damn it! I thought it was gonna be like some, like, I don't know, weird sex organs like they
No.
play or something like that.
Not in this case.
Is it like Caligula or something like that? He's a Venusian.
I mean, he might be.
But I mean, what do you guys think about this stuff? Like, he talks about how he has 38 major school degrees of higher learning. He wouldn't bow to the queen. And they're like, "Oh, sir, I thought you went to the University of Wichita, not Princeton." Like, when did he talk about going to the University of Wichita?
He
talk
did
about that?
earlier on, yeah. But the thing is, they're trying to track his timeline, and it keeps like, oh, well, you did this at this point, and anytime they do that, he goes, oh, well, I also did this other thing at the same time. So it builds lies upon lies upon lies.
I mean, all they want is liquid propellant. I mean, he is called liquid propellant Frisbee because the first batch was a dud. So he wanted to run for Congress. I'm like, damn. Like, so you're telling me that you want to be part of a sex cult?
Well, yeah, that's what you do.
You know what's on Nick's mind tonight.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just go off what I see. This feels like an episode that be directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, does jazz hands. So he tries to escape, and like the jazz hands come out, and they're like, ooh, that type of thing. But what do you guys think about this stuff? Like, the idea of like they want him for his intelligence, even though you can tell he's not very intelligent. He
but
just
he
likes
is
to bullshit.
though. Like, he doesn't.
He's
And
not
I
stupid,
know,
he's just
I
a
know,
liar.
it's yeah. I know it's a dumb point, but so many of these characters, like if you're more backwoodsy, like you are a dumbass. Even if you can lie, you're still a gigantic dumbass. Like in the scene where he spells out lies in a modern setting, he would spell lies wrong. He's an intelligent guy. He knows the ins and outs to be clever and smart and quick-witted.
Well, that's kind of the stigma that we have in this.
Oh, I know,
country.
100%, and that's not right at all. But
I won't even call it a Southern accent, but just I think sometimes people inaccurately call it a Southern accent. It's more of a, like you said, backwoods kind of accent.
yeah,
I know that. Hey guys, how you doing? That whole thing, and or like a slower paced draw. People automatically attribute that to
he has more of a
stupidity.
Midwestern accent, to be honest. That's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
but I mean, he had that draw like that. He
Yeah.
did that. Whenever you have like that draw, people think, "Oh, you're dumb." And I'm like, I mean, there's a lot of people in this country that have a draw. I mean, there's a lot of dumb people in this country too, but I can't really say they're all dumb. I've
Well,
met
of
some
course
really
not.
smart people that, I mean, just off of like stereotypes.
I mean,
if you've heard them
there's
talk,
dumb
you're
people
like,
that have
"You're an
all
idiot."
different types of
Yeah.
way they talk. I mean, they don't
Right.
necessarily talk like there's some smart ass people from the South. I mean, like
Well,
you
thank
just
you.
like you're
Funny
from the
river.
Midwest, Triv. I'm
no,
just saying,
I'm just
like,
saying thank you on behalf of them. Well, it's like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Like the way that whole all plays out. It's kind of that same thing of
it's like the
like the
misconception.
stereotypic-
It's like,
yeah, 100%.
oh, because somebody comes from a certain area, oh, they're automatically stupid. It's like, no. Somebody from New York City or Washington D.C. could be stupider than somebody who comes from, I don't know, Alabama or Mississippi.
Having lived
or...
in Washington D.C. for many years, I can tell you there are a bunch of dumb motherfuckers up there.
Is it called
smart
the
people.
is
There's
it
some
called the
dumbass.
capital? Is it called the capital?
Oh, that's a whole nother world right there. Yeah, there's plenty of dumb motherfuckers there. But
Speaking of sex cults, I'm sure they would fit right in with this group of aliens.
Their faces come
I
off.
don't. What's that?
Their faces come off.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're always hiding their faces. That could be another thing with this episode. The faces come off. I don't. Never mind.
Take their
The
face off.
I just like, this is what's funny. So he doesn't he like he hits one of them in the face and it cracks off. The question I have is, okay, so they've created a mask out of glass,
No, it's
plaster,
like-
Porcelain.
Yeah.
porcelain. Like
Well,
it's weird. Like, you think they would have latex?
It's an outer worldly concoction.
They should just use latex. Like their mask look like it's made out of what is that stuff? Plaster? Like their actual face. It looks like it's like
Maybe.
a half. It's
Exactly.
a half-ass done plaster mask. I
It's
don't know.
not. I think they did a great job with it, given the time that they had and the budget that that they had and the pressures that you also know that they had.
Bro, I'm just saying. Latex
Voice
mask.
cracks.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying.
My balls haven't dropped yet. I'm 40. I'm
voice
40 years
crack.
old. My balls haven't dropped yet. So, I'm
Man,
a
you're in
broken
for something.
camshaft. I'm an aggressive vinegar of a corpse. What can I say?
Well,
No, but I just thought that was weird. Like, so they can talk normal, but then their face cracks, and it feels like something out of the Terminator or something like that. I don't know. Yes, I know, Jacob. I know it's 24 minutes, but I need some explanation here. If they're gonna have a sex party, I need some information, sir. I feel like we should talk about 24, the TV series,
Nick
as much
needs
as
to
Jake
get
keeps
laid.
flashing. Yeah, I mean, I live in Florida. It's only old people and sponges. So
Get your
I mean,
your scrunchies or whatever. What
yeah,
was it?
loofahs.
Loofahs. Get your loofah.
right.
Your Black loofah, Nick.
Exactly.
I like
Once you
how
go black
many-
loofah, you never go back.
Wasn't the black loofah
like how-
you just down for anything?
Oh yeah,
That
yep,
was that one? Yeah.
absolutely.
I like how many
I got a
weeks
few.
later after that, Jacob actually still knows Black Loofah. He's
Well, yeah,
he's
how can you
implemented it
forget
into his
that
family.
shit? I mean,
Well,
I
I just-
remembered it.
Whenever I go to Florida, I know which one I need to pick up on the way. I'm gonna put one on each wrist, my ankles, a few of them up here, kind of like Afro puffs. I'm going there so everybody sees. Down for whatever.
Jacob comes back with more STDs than any Floridian that lives down here.
No, you gotta be safe.
Shit.
You can both
Everybody
infect
safe.
and cure everybody.
He's
so
taken
many,
by the
you, like,
aliens.
You revert. If you get an STD and then you hook up with somebody with the same one, they like cancel each other out, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's how
Yeah,
that works.
sure.
That is
That's
definitely
how
how
human
that
biology.
works.
Yeah, that's how human biology works. You do something like you murder someone, then the person you're married to murders someone. It gets rid of everything.
Oh yeah.
So, but I mean, the real question is, once the face cracks, Frisby passes out from, after he said, "I'm just a liar, I'm not real," and they're like, "No, we're aliens from Galaxy Quest. No, that's not how this works. You're lying to us. You're not lying to us." I mean, I don't know. And then he like takes out his harmonica and starts blowing. And that's when they do the interpretive dance. They're like, and one falls to the ground. He's like, "Yeah, I killed one of them." And I don't know. He runs out, and then
So why
they
did they
go,
wanna-
like-
I mean, okay, I know, and I'm well aware, but at first it seemed like they wanted him like because he was really smart and he knew everything, and they wanted him like for his smarts. But then they just want to put him in a cage. I mean, they talk about how you're
Well,
gonna be.
I don't
well
think it's
kept
meant
then.
as a cage. I think it's meant as you're going to be part of a think tank and this is where you're going to stay. You're not going to live a normal life, basically.
Okay.
That's what I
I'm
took it as.
I'm assuming that after the sex party, like they have to contaminate, like undecontaminate him because he has all kinds of weird space viruses, and that's why that's why they tell him.
This should have been called is Sex Party and Frisbee.
That's what the
Hocus sex
title of
party,
this video is.
Frisbee and sex
dimension.
party, the sex party edition. No, but like they're
Hocus Pocus
they're
and
talking
sex parties.
but they're talking about how like they'll have to confine him. I'm assuming because they want to make sure he's not going to poison or give viruses to the aliens, and of course old Frisbee passes out and then eventually wakes up and
I think it's a secret complex kind of a thing, like an Area 52 or Area 51, not 52. What the hell? Duh.
so they just go like five miles down the road.
Pretty basically, yeah.
They're not actually Martians. They're like people that have been hideously disfigured by, I don't know, STDs.
One may
or
never
something.
know.
Shit. But no, I mean, like, what do you think about the harmonica being the water of these aliens?
I think that's pretty cool. It was an unexpected little treat thing, and it's been a long time since I've seen this episode, so it's like he can't play, and his music like destroys everybody.
I was hoping that it would be something along the lines of they would actually take him and go.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And they did think he was just like this, so smart, and we need him to help like advance our society. And he goes up there and like they listen to him and treat him like a god, and like we find out like their society like collapsed from within because they listened to everything he said. And it was all,
that would be the thing. Like you see this like utopia, like flying ships and green covered grass, and like it does that fade where it's like 1 month later and everything's on fire and like he's destroyed, and it's just like I don't know, all the aliens are dead.
He emerges from the ashes and and Wayne's World. He goes, "Why, God? Why?
Why the hell do you listen to me?
I tried to warn you."
Right. He came out of a bank vault.
Old world destroyer Frisby. Just like Mars.
Oh no, this could be like an origin story for Mars. Why Mars looks the way it does. It was actually a utopia.
Mars, but Frisbee.
Actually, I found it interesting. I heard an interesting story about Jupiter. I heard the reason it has like it is the way it is because another planet crashed into it, made it stinky. Yeah. So he runs away back to as the aliens are like, we need to get out of here before they tell everybody who we are. Even though we know for a simple fact that the people in the store are never going to believe that he got abducted by aliens. It's just never going to happen. That's what happens. He walks back into the store and they surprise him with apparently a birthday party that never got talked about at all. And I thought that was kind of
a surprise
random
party.
But that's the point. Like, there's no setup. Like, there's no setup at the beginning. It's like, oh, happy birthday, and then they're like, as they walk out,
they wanted it to be a surprise for us too.
Right.
Apparently.
Funny thing is, that was the twist of the episode. The twist of the episode really wasn't even that much of a.
No, not really.
The twist was, oh, now he's telling the truth.
Well,
and nobody believed him because he cried wolf so much.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't think this one is meant to have a moral. It's just a random goofy story.
It's just funny because it's like I said, the boy who cried wolf. He lies so much that when he's telling the truth, they're like, yeah, sure, here's your biggest lie award. It's like I don't know. They give him an award as a birthday present. I you know what? If all the town folks were like in essence your friends and they give you an award like that, wouldn't you just want to throw it at him? Like, I don't know.
I think he acknowledges what he is, and he revels in it. It's like the old grump. There's a town around here that does this old grump competition, and every year they'll vote in an old grump, and it's just some random guy. It's a status, not a status symbol, but like a sign of endearment. It's like a
yeah, but that's like getting a pair of socks for your birthday. It's like, come on, give him something else. Give him, I don't know, buy shit from his store. I don't know.
That's not the point of a birthday gift. Yeah.
He's no fucks to give. He's just like, whatever at that point.
He knows what he is, and he relishes in it.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit, man.
I have 0 fucks to give. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It is what it is. It's fine. Like I said, the ending's fine. I like the alien sex party. That's fine. That's what it is.
But take a shot every time you say alien sex party.
Drunk, dead.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah. How many times have I said it? Like 25 times.
Basically,
have a alcohol poisoning level of like 0.7 or whatever it is.
You need, after this, you need to go out to a bar and get you a one night stand or something.
I mean, I go downtown in Orlando and do that. I mean, the bars. But it was Thursday, Jacob. So I guess not the.
And
I don't know. I don't really ever go out. So I guess you go out Thursday night.
If I
go
out,
back down to Miami,
I'm just in the dark, out in the middle of nowhere.
Just make sure you're going to the right place and it's not the middle of a field or something. I don't want to know what happens to you then. So
there's a field
you can do some cow tipping
across the street from my house.
There you go. See.
No. Anyways, what do you guys think? I mean, overall, like, now that we've kind of talked about it, we're not talking about things that I keep bringing up for weird reasons. I mean, what do we think about overall the episode, where it goes, how it places, the things it does? you know, that type of thing.
I enjoy this for what it is. I mean, it's not, it's one that I would go back and watch, above some of the other ones that I'm sure are higher on you guys' list. But I enjoy it for what it is. I think it's fun. I think there's some great wordplay. It's cute. Yeah, it's not a perfect episode by any stretch, but it's a solid, Twilight Zone entry.
I like this episode. I didn't love it, but I don't hate it either. But it does have an issue that I think is very plainly seen by reading which I usually don't read the synopsis on Wikipedia. I didn't read it this time either. I just kind of like the plot synopsis, but I did notice the plot synopsis on Wikipedia is the problem. It shows the problem with this episode. If you look at it, the first third of the plot synopsis describes the part where he's sitting there. They're all sitting there bullshitting in the beginning. The guy's driving up, him saying, "Oh, that was weird," and then him getting abducted. The 2/3 of the following 2/3 of the plot synopsis are the stuff after that, him on the ship and all that. The episode is the reverse of that. 2/3 of it are him bullshitting with these people in here.
Yeah, it takes 15 minutes to get.
Yeah, the last
ad,
third is him on the ship. So I'm like, see, that's the problem right there. It should have been like this plot, at least half, because like that first part, I was fine with it, honestly, up into the part where he says, "Okay, I'm going to close up." But then I know it was only a few minutes, but we're talking about 24-minute episode here. So a few minutes is a chunk of the episode. Yeah. That whole part that he was talking to that voice when he was in the store, just like tiptoeing around, it like screeched to a halt. I could not tell you, like, when he was outside, he like said he invented all this. I could tell you some of the things he said he invented and some of the bullshit he spouted out. Everything he said in there, I think he said something about World War II. I don't know, but I couldn't tell you any of it because I was just so disconnected. I was like, come the fuck on. And it added nothing to the story. And like what he said didn't add anything else, nothing of value. I would have rather them give us a few extra minutes of the stuff on the ship or something like that, or, of that part of the story.
Well, they could have been quite enthralled by his stories. And then they get like halfway to their planet. And all of them are just bored. One raises a gun. This is gonna sound joking, but one raises a gun to shoot himself, and then they start talking to each other. Like, what we should do? We should like go back and look for somebody who's not gonna fucking make me blow my brains out. It's that type of thing where do something, because I feel like that it was so quick. Because once again, the stuff that leads up to the ship is 15 minutes of the episode, and it's like they have like 7 minutes to do the whole ship stuff. It's just like so.
They skip over some stuff on the ship too, like it. He brings them up there and he starts bullshitting them. And then
the thing is, they haven't even been taken off yet. They're still sitting there.
He's bullshitting them, and then he's like, "Well, all right, well, I guess you guys are good. It's time for me to go." What was all that conversation right there? Let's have that instead of the whole conversation inside the store. That would have been something else. I mean, depending on how it was made. Because I mean, I was fine. Sure, there's 100 different ways we could have ended the episode that I think would have been funny or cool or whatever. I was fine with how it ended. I was fine with the beginning. I was fine with the whole thing. Just that part in the store. And yeah, it was only a few minutes, but still, once again, you got to look at it in perspective of 24 minutes. That just screeched to a halt. But beyond that, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was just kind of a goofy palate cleanser after 4:00. And, had it followed up something like, To Serve Man or something, would my view of it be different? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I would, regardless of what it followed up, if I would ever hate this episode. But following up 4:00, I probably give this one a little bit more praise than I usually would. But I mean, it was a nice, enjoyable episode. Nick, you said in the beginning that like most likely I'm not going to remember. I mean, I've seen it before and I don't remember it. So I mean, it's a forgettable yet enjoyable while I'm watching it, entertaining enough episode.
Yeah, I think if you what I think it is an episode where you watch it and then you go on to the next Twilight Zone episode, and then maybe like down the road when they're doing another marathon, it comes on, you're like, you know what? I remember this. I kind of remember this episode. I'll watch it, and then you'll forget about it again. It's not like
I clean up the living room with this on in the background.
You're
only the living room, not the kitchen.
Yeah,
exactly.
I clean. I would do something else while this was on and not change it. If I didn't have anything else to watch and this came on, I'd be like, oh, Like some of the episodes come on and I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather just sit there and watch nothing.
See, Jacob would be excited if it was like a double feature of this and the Perchance to Dream.
Oh, such an up and down.
Yeah.
I will
And
say,
then
so
the fever.
while I was watching this, it kind of feels like I kind of kept thinking about One for the Angels, like near the end where the guy is like enthralling death with, all of these different things that he's selling and giving his pitch. Had that happened, that would have been a cool thing. Like what I'm trying to say is that a scenario like this was done better in One for the Angels. Like just that it's not just, and not without the crazy hard sell, just that enthralling, like, oh well, let me spin you a yarn, basically.
Pretty much bullshitting you,
but done in a more dynamic way.
Yeah, I think that was a much more like heartwarming episode than this
Right,
one.
but
This
I'm
one is
saying-
just meant for more for laughs. Like
Right, but I
the
think you
aliens
could
die
still
by
do
harmonica.
that.
Like it's a pure sight gag or
Oh no,
whatever you
100%.
call
But
it.
I think you could have had like, like, oh well, they're not going to believe that I'm a liar, so I'm going to tell them, a humdinger of a tale, and you enthrall them and kind of pull them in with, oh my gosh, I did this and I did that, and that's why they call me all encompassing or old all encompassing Frisbee, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Something that really knocks their socks off.
Yeah, that would have been better right there at that part where it kind of had a time jump where he told them all this stuff or something, just something else other than that stuff in the store. I mean, even if you took the stuff in the store out, the part where he's walking around talking, you took that out and you put something more enthralling in after that with the aliens, I still don't think this episode would have been like, holy shit, this was like top 10. But
Right.
I probably would have thought, I'd probably be sitting here saying it was really solid. It never slowed. I was, entertained the whole time. I was entertained most of the time. But I mean, once again, there's nothing about this episode that just stands out that makes me say, oh, I'm going to think about this episode when we're rating another episode, however many episodes down the line. This is never going to be the starting point when we're like, okay, where are we ranking this episode? Well, remember Frisbees and Bette Midler or whatever it was? Let's start there. It's like that one.
What they should have done is taken him to the planet and they take him to a factory and you see like a bunch of people in the factory being loaded into a machine. And then he gets sent back to his planet and he goes,
Soylent Green
people, Soylent Green is people. And they're like, sure they are. And then he gives them like bars of Soylent Green. It's like, see, I have it. Like, oh, yes, they're eating it. Nom, 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 nom. Anything else you guys want to say on the episode before we go to the closing narration?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, closing narration, Jacob. Let's do that.
This is a whopper. Mr. Somerset Frisby, who might have profited by reading the Aesop fable about a boy who cried wolf. Tonight's tall tale from the timberlands of the Twilight Zone.
Wow, that
Babe
was
in the Blue Ox.
enthralling and wow.
It was so enthralling that Trip just fell asleep. She's like, spit coming down her.
She's gonna lean over and we're gonna get her strong arm.
All right. Okay. So
Guys, I'm
with
stuck.
that,
Brrr.
Franks and beans, Franks and beans. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and into the last segment of this podcast, which of course is the Twilight Zone ranking list, the greatest ranking list because of a sex cult. I don't know, because Rod Serling says, okay, so I would put this somewhere starting at number 56 with Night of the Meek. Where do we go
Wow.
from there?
This on X again, Twitter.
Yeah, it's easier just to put on Twitter.
It's so big,
That's what she said.
It's so long and girthy.
so long. There's so many ribs and lines in it.
See, we could just take out the top 30, get rid of those, and make Perchance to Dream number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Okay, so I'm starting with Night of the Meek because it's kind of the same feel, like
56.
What number is that?
56.
Damn.
not like the worst episode, but kind of middle of the road, that type of thing.
God, I don't know. It's such an odd duck as compared to everything else.
Hmm.
Well, that's why I went with Night of the Meek because Night of the Meek is more lighthearted than.
Yeah, so is
lot of
Mr. Beavis.
episodes.
It is kind of in that realm.
I mean, you could put it like near the hunt or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you look at the other kind of comedic episodes, and they're either really crappily done or they're really well done. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, in all fairness, I'm just kind of like glancing up ahead to see if there's anything I hate more. Like Penny for Your Thoughts, I just came to that one. I like that one more than this one.
Where's Penny for Your Thoughts? Higher up.
Oh, we put Kick the Can above this. We put Kick the Can at 37.
Well, I think it was at like 34 at one point, something like that. I don't know.
So you like Kick the Can more than this one, Nick?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I was just starting with Night of the Meek. I don't know. I don't know where to go.
I don't have a problem with that so much, but number 30. It's always going to be a point of contention.
You mean the Odyssey of Flight 30?
I mean the Odyssey of
Your
piece of shit for
mom.
Chance to Dream. In all seriousness, though,
I mean, is this better than Showdown with Rance McGrew? Is it worse?
Where is that?
Number 39.
39. We're
I
going
feel-
that high?
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking.
I do feel. I mean, I feel like it's like that. That the vibe of that one is kind of like the vibe of this one. So
True.
it's not amazing. It's not terrible, but it's entertaining while I watch it. It's kind of got a little goofy side to it.
I don't
Already
know if I could
immersive.
put it would you put it above A World of Difference though? And a nice place to visit?
World of Difference, is that the final of season
No,
one? Or is
that's
that
A World of His Own.
that's the guy who is
Yeah.
the actor?
That's the wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitchy wife.
Gold digger.
I mean, maybe like below Odyssey of Flight 33, above Mirror Image, or maybe there's What You Need. You know, when Jacob gets hit by Nan Adams.
Well, if we're going in that general area, I'd probably put it between Prime Mover and The Fugitive.
I didn't like
58
Fugitive.
and 59.
Back there, there's so much gloom. Where baby bourbon flowers bloom. I will go there. I will go to up there, up where.
I don't know, man.
Huh?
I can't make a decision on this.
I
Oh my
can't
god, you
either.
guys are terrible.
I mean, you
which one's the
mentioned
whole
Night of the
truth?
Week. You mentioned Night of the Week. Maybe that's the best
Is this
place
better
to
than
kind of
Passage
toss
for
it.
Trumpet?
I like Passage for Trumpet more. It had more to say. Like, this is
it
a
better
fun
than the
one.
After Hours?
That was the mannequin one.
Yeah. I mean, this is
I like
definitely
that.
better than Execution.
Yeah. How about between
Like a-
Execution and After Hours?
Where's that?
53 and 54.
That's fine. That's all I'm saying, man. This was just kind of like, it's not bad, but it's just kind of, it's fine.
I mean, right now that is literally a little bit ahead of middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it'd be actually above middle of the road when we finally finish, because it'll be, you know, I think maybe in the 70s or something. I don't know. We still got season 4, so I mean, yeah, that's fine if you guys want to put. Where do we want to put it again? Between
Prime Mover
Execution and
and
After
Fugitive.
Hours. Oh wait, Prime Mover. Where's Prime Mover at?
Prime Mover is
Oh,
48.
so put it between those two. So you like it better than
Sure.
the? Yeah, I think you like. You know,
I
you wanna
said
put it between Execution
between
and
after
Hours.
hours. Yeah, that's where I said the last time before I said the other one. But if we're moving it down, I mean, I don't think it's that good. But
Oh, I thought you said that last. Where you want it?
no, apologies.
Because I'm kind of indifferent. I mean, unless you're talking about 30.
I don't think
We're
it's
far
going
enough
that
removed
high.
from that, so I can like.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Well, the real question
Honestly-
is, what is Jacob gonna say like weeks down the road when we get back? And he's like, "You put Hocus and Focus that far down?"
Well, that's happening every single
Oh,
episode.
absolutely.
We put Hocus Pocus right there.
I mean, I could see it going right by Night of the Meek. I mean, that seems like a pretty solid kind of comparable piece, really.
I mean, do you like Elegy more than this? That's where all.
I'm indifferent. I know you guys liked it. I'm kind of indifferent about that one. I think
I
it
was
was
kind
okay.
of like that. Elegy,
So-
I thought was okay. I feel about it like I do this one, where it's like, it's fine.
So put it between Execution and Elegy.
Sure. That way you're breaking up the E's.
What do you think, Jacob?
That sounds like a very rational rationale to me.
That's the
So.
greatest. All right, so
Thank-
right now you'll allow it. Okay, yeah, I think that'll work. Like I said, it's really kind of, was that expression cutting two things in a piece and a half? I don't know
Splitting
where I'm going
hairs?
with that. Yeah, splitting hairs.
Cutting a piece
Cutting
into
two
pieces.
cutting two
What
cutting
are you talking
two
about?
cutting two
Cut a
uncircumcised penises
pizza.
into a sex party.
8 ways.
We're your face.
6 of one, half dozen of another.
Right.
And a sex party.
Yes.
Yeah.
A horny episode.
All right. So with that said, that'll work. So new number 55, Hocus Pocus and Frisby. Number 1, still Eye of the Beholder. Had to look that up. Number 95 is A Trouble in Templeton. With that said, like I said, we'll be hopefully not more than a couple weeks, maybe a little bit longer. Just depends on how long it takes me to move. But the next episode will, of course, be season 3, episode 31, which is called The Trade-Ins, directed by Elliot Silverstein, written by Rod Serling, stars Joseph Schilderkraut, which was from Death Head Revisited, Noah Keane, Alma Platt, and Ted Marcus. So we'll look forward to that.
Oh, hey, you
Triv.
forgot something. You forgot something.
Yeah, you
Remember,
did.
the new 78 is piano in the
The house.
So yeah, so new number 78 is Mr. Denton on Doomsday. Well, sure.
No, it's
You guys are
the
never gonna
piano
let
in
that
the
go.
house.
Bitch.
The house
Is the next episode The Trade-Ins, The House?
No,
We should just do every episode as The House, The Gift in the House.
no, that doesn't work for this one though, because Hocus Pocus and Frisby in the house is way too long.
Could be
Title.
Hocus Pocus in the house.
There you go. Yeah,
Or you could be Hocus Pocus in the Frisbee House.
That's just silly.
Stop throwing that frisbee in the house.
Well, there you go.
Stop putting that. Stop
Penis
running
stretcher.
around in the house. Stop
Sex
using
party
that,
in the house.
The house.
stop using that penis stretcher in the house. Anyways,
Mr. Denton on Doomsday in the house.
the penis stretcher in the house.
Where
Penis
is
stretcher
everybody
on
in
Doomsday?
Oh God, here
The
we go.
Doomsday
again.
in the house.
We need
anyways.
Mad Libs of this.
Is this
Right,
next one
fair.
supposed to be good?
I don't know.
What is it?
The
Oh,
trade-ins.
the trade-ins. It's very it's kind of like One for the Angels. It kind of tears at your heartstrings a bit. No, I'm sorry. No. The trade-ins. I can't.
The
think of
trade-ins
what it
is like the that enigma, that sex party you go to, and it's like actually just a sausage party, or it's like fake taxi or some shit, or it's a I don't know.
Okay.
You end up having sex with bears and shit. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm trying to
Maybe it's
remember
Baldur's
what
Gate 3.
I'm trying to think what this one is. Like, there's 2 things that come to mind with this, and I can't remember which one it is.
It's about an elderly couple who
Oh, okay, so
go
it's
to a medical
heartwarming.
center.
It's kind of a heartwarming.
I can
one.
give you the spoiler-free synopsis. The Trade-ins is episode 96 of the American television anthology series The Twilight Zone.
Okay, there you go. Everything you ever wanted to know and more.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, so with that said, we'll look forward to that whenever we get back, so we can all rest and take a break. Jacob, Triv, awesome as always. You go
Woohoo.
sleep and dream about sex parties and penis stretchers and whatever you
I think
do
the
on
other
your
one is
daily
gonna be
night
dreaming
trip.
about sex parties.
Yeah.
You know what's sad is probably will happen, but Triv, you hopefully have content, I think. I don't
think
know.
so.
It may be about James Corden, maybe not.
Uncle
I don't know
Cord.
at this point. No, I'm kidding.
Are you though?
Anyways.
Are you?
I don't know. I'm gonna make you stay awake till like 3 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get you to give you all the information about where your podcast and videos and stuff you do and things you say and places you have to be and all that good stuff.
I'm really
Where's that
not
located?
that interesting. You can find me here on YouTube. I just put out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a collab. It's really cute and a lot of fun. Definitely step by. I try and take pizza from ninjas, but I don't know if I succeed or not. I didn't animate that far. Anyway,
Was it Pizza Hut or Domino's?
No, it's just random non-specific pizza.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know. Terrible. lots of pineapple on the pizza, so I gotta have it. Anyway, but yeah, you can check me out there and stop by, say hi.
Excellent. So look forward to a new co-host coming in next week because she likes pineapple. Jacob, you like pineapple too, so I might need new co-hosts.
Good.
You have content. You're still working on something new, but you have content. Where's that located?
You can find it on YouTube, Retro Jake XY, for my video game documentary content, which is a little behind, by the way. I had a video planned. I've had just things happening that have kept me from doing as much. I think I'm going to try and put out a shorter bit of content, a little something that can, produce a little bit quicker to kind of tide people over, so channel doesn't seem dead in between now and the next big one. Don't hold me to that though. But yeah, I have that. My old channel, Jacob Anders Reviews. Check that out if you like movies. I did a lot of reviews on there. Yeah, YouTube. I'm on Twitter too. I don't really do much on there. I'm there. I check it. I don't really interact much. If somebody talks to me, I talk back. But
there you go.
Comment on stuff. Yeah, I don't really use it for anything but entertainment, I guess.
And porn. Porn.
No, I would never. It's Pornhub. Come on now.
He likes the ex-hamster. Okay,
You get linked there
so
sometimes.
anyways, you can find me at Movie Emporium where I have content. What content? I don't know. I just have content. Like I said, it's gonna be sporadic as I move, so just be aware. But with that said, we're going to head out for the time being, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. And for myself, Triv, and Jacob, we'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfucker. All right, you guys are ready to start recording?
You already started recording.
I know. I want to see how long I could go before you guys notice. Like, damn you, Nick.
I know. As it goes, recording in progress.
No, it's recording in progress.
Oh, yours sounds like that? Mine sounds
guys,
like a robot.
I invented podcasting. Back in my day, podcasting was like you talk to yourself in person, and I invented the computer, and they called me old podcasting computer Nick.
Called me old Packard Bell. She buying dush. These are lyrics.
Right.
This is going at the end of the video, right? Jacob's just